Greetings, friends. Master Sommelier Peter Neptune here. Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about Malbec from Argentina, specifically Mendoza, more specifically the Uco Valley. You should perk up with that one and write that down. In my opinion, of course it's my opinion. I'm saying it. I always love when they go, in my opinion. Yeah, I know it's your opinion. You're the one saying it. Anyway, Uco Valley is one of the most exciting areas in the New World. These guys are planting and have vineyards planted between 3,000 and over 4,000 feet above sea level in the foothills of the Andes Mountains. It is stunning. And I could go on and on and on, but they have discovered that underneath there's a lot going on. There's some limestone underneath that was once the ocean floor and is now up at, 5,000 feet above sea level, with sand and gravel over the top of it. But these guys are doing these soil digs and discovering that there's calcium carbonate down here. So there's a lot going on. I could go on and on and on about the terroir of the Uco Valley. The other thing is that it could be 95 degrees during the day and 50 degrees at night. Diurnal swings, preserving the natural acidity in the grapes, extending the ripening season, and creating vivid aromas and flavors. The signature grape was imported, somewhere around 1843, 1850 from France, and it's called Malbec. It was widely planted in Bordeaux before phylloxera. It's the grape of Cahors in southwest France, and it was brought to Argentina, where it has, morphed and different clonal selections have been discovered, and it's a uniquely Argentine grape in what it produces, particularly in the Uco Valley. So I thought it'd be fun to taste 3 Malbec blends from the Uco Valley that all cost less than $17. I bought these wines at High Time Wine Cellars in Costa Mesa. They're available there, and we have a fantastic world-renowned winemaker named Marcello Pelleriti. Let's speak Italian correctly, shall we, people? Marcello Pelleriti. I had the pleasure of tasting with him here at the school, and thank you, Marcello, for coming by a couple of years ago. This guy's making ridiculously great wine in Pomerol and in the Uco Valley in Argentina. This is his signature Malbec, and it retails for $16.99. It's from parcels that are 40 to 50 years old. This is Clos de los Siete. This is a project spearheaded by the French enologist Michel Rolland in the Uco Valley. He works with 6 other wineries in the area, and this is their blend. I've been following this wine for a long time. It's Malbec. It's 55% Malbec with Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, a little bit of Petit Verdot, a little bit of Cabernet Franc. Aged in 1/3 new, 1/3 1 year, and 1/3 2 year oak, which I like that oak regimen a lot. Winemakers, listen to me. I love that oak regimen. Just like perfect chef seasoning with salt. Not too much, not too little, just enough to bring out flavors in the wine. So this is a nice blend, and this is about $15.99. And then this is a new discovery for me. This is called 1853. That was when Malbec was brought to Argentina. 1853, Old Vine Estate, selected parcel, Malbec. Get this, ladies and gentlemen, this is from a parcel that was planted in 1910. 1910. How's my math? We're talking about 124-year-old vines. That is insane. That is incredible. Evidently, these are some of the oldest Malbec vines in the world, planted on their own roots. And I can't believe, when I first tasted this wine a year ago, I was astounded. I couldn't believe it. It's $16.99. How can you do that? The yields have to be a ton an acre. It's crazy. So let's taste the wines. See whether I should be excited or not. All right. Just looking at the wines, they're all deep purple. And one of the things about Malbec from Mendoza is that it really, the altitude brings out this pigmentation. The grape skins are thicker, and the pigmentation really, really builds, and you get this deep purple. I call it black light purple. Now, you kids who don't know what a black light is, it's an ultraviolet light, and when I was a teenager, I had an ultraviolet light in my room with posters. You know, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Jethro Tull, that glowed. It was the coolest. You can't get any cooler, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I might put one in my bedroom. No, I don't think that would go over very well. Let's taste, shall we? But always look for that black light purple in Malbec. It's a really good clue in a blind tasting situation that you might be looking at Malbec. So, you know, keep your ear open for that one. Let's look at the Marcello Pelleriti signature Malbec. Very typical on the nose. You got a lot of blue plum, a lot of blueberry. There's a little bit of toast, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of meat. But a very pleasant nose with this just kind of plummy blueberry overtone. One thing I think I'm going to notice in all three wines is Malbec from Argentina seems to have this interesting 94% cacao, like dark chocolate, bitter chocolate character. And I don't think it's from oak. I'm not sure what it's from, or maybe it's the way oak, even neutral oak, reacts with Malbec. But it's almost like, you know, tiramisu, when that chocolate that's sprinkled on top, and it's bitter. It's this bitter dark chocolate. And I call it tiramisu sprinkle chocolate. And I always get that with Malbec. So, you know, when you're tasting, see if you recognize the same thing. I always say in blind tasting, it's always the non-fruit that's gonna take you to the wine. It's always the non-fruit. So again, we get all that very, very fresh, appealing aroma on the palate. Dry. Acidity, medium plus. There's that natural acidity of the Uco Valley. Wow, that's good wine. Tannin, medium plus, ripe, round, mouth-filling. Alcohol, probably barely high, 14%. Body full, intensity pronounced. This is what can I say? This is a mouth-filling, just really enjoyable bottle of wine, glass of wine. It's got palate presence. Boy, those tannins are almost pronounced, but they're ripe. Again, that beautiful ripening continuum of sugar levels and polyphenols happening at the same time. It's really great. On the palate, roasted plum. There's that black cherry, blackberry, blueberry, dark chocolate, a little bit of tint of pepper in the background. Medium plus finish. You know, that wine is very good wine at what did I say, $16.99. Man, that's an everyday drinking wine, from hamburgers to your favorite Wagyu beef, everything in between. Lamb chops, lamb shank in the wintertime, slow braised short ribs. I mean, you know, really versatile wine. And for the price, that's what I call a Monday through Thursday night wine. You know my whole thing, right? Monday through Thursday, under 20 bucks. Friday, Saturday, you know, go for it. You know, live large, right? Sunday's a pivot day. Depends on how the weekend's going. Sunday, continue living large, or go back to your kind of Monday, Thursday. And, you know, so Sunday kind of gives you a good idea of like what's coming up for the week. If I got a good Sunday going, oh man, I'm gonna have a good week. Wine number 2 is the Clos de los Siete, and this is a Malbec blend. It's predominantly, you know, 55% Malbec, I think I said. So let's check this out. Yeah, so here we get a little bit more complexity, only because I've got Cabernet Sauvignon in here, I've got Merlot. So I've got kind of that blueberry, blackberry character of Malbec, but I also get a little bit of blackcurrant from Cabernet Sauvignon. I get a little bit of red plum from Merlot. There is that nice 1/3 oak character where I get some vanilla and some cumin and even cinnamon and a little bit of toasty element mixing in with the fruit here. And even a little bit of fresh herbs on the nose, maybe tarragon. Let's look at the palate. Dry. Acidity, medium plus. Again, that ripe, round tannin. To me, that's one of the signatures of Uco Valley. Beautiful tannin. medium plus tannin, mouth coating, full, round, and ripe. It just feels great. It's plush. It's like a big tannin pillow in my mouth, right? Finishes long. I mean, again, on the palate, you get the black cherry, blueberry, blackberry, vanilla, toast. You get a nice little bit of cinnamon and cocoa. That sprinkled tiramisu cocoa, boom, what's that guy, emerald, bam, bam, tiramisu cocoa in there, long finish. Again, that's very good wine. Really, really got wonderful complexity. Frankly, I have a feeling at $17 and under with these wines, you're probably looking at the price point outstanding, which means run out and buy them. These wines over deliver for the price point. I've tasted $100 bottles of wine that don't taste as good and don't feel as good as this Clos de los Siete. Bravo. That's just good stuff, man. I can't wait to show you this Old Vine Estate, 1853 Old Vine Estate selected parcel Malbec. Might be the deepest color of them all. Again, on the nose. I mean, Malbec is very similar. The roasted blueberry, black cherry, a little bit of blackberry. This has a nice kind of herbal component. There's violets here, so this is pretty floral. There's a nice herbal component showing here. Maybe a little bit of mint, a little bit of cedar. Certainly, I didn't know the oak regimen, I think, is used oak. So this is Marco wanted to show the vines. I mean, when you have source material that's over 100 years old, you want to show that material. You don't want to overpower it with any new oak. So I believe it's used oak barrels on this. I don't get a lot of vanilla and overt oak character, but I get a little bit of toast in the background. But it's medium plus intensity on the nose, and again, showing maybe developing. Maybe a little bit of dried blueberry, dried black cherry on the palate. Let's taste it on the nose. Let's taste. Wow. This has more structure. This is serious old vine material here. You can feel it on the palate. Dry. Acidity medium plus. Tannin medium plus. I'm going to say high with the caveat that it's really ripe tannin. But man, my mouth is absolutely coated with tannin. This is what I call the latex paint tannin. Somebody came in here. Who called the painters in? Who called the painters? Somebody came in and just painted my palate with tannin. I like it. I like it a lot. I would love a Wagyu ribeye right now. But this is just full-bodied tannin that's ripe. Alcohol seems high, 14%, maybe 14 plus, 14.8, and intensity's pronounced. Whoa, bravo. This has got roasted black plum, that dark cherry, blueberry, blackberry, the sprinkled tiramisu chocolate on top, intensely full mouthfeel, just absolutely long finish. This is again, it's outstanding wine. What can I say? I'm not trying to be too generous here, but I know it when I feel it, and I look at the price point, which is $16.99, and I got to tell you, this is absolutely outstanding wine. Wow, 2 out of the 3 wines made by Marcello Pelleriti. He's a name to know. I'm not a big winemaker worshiper, but I got to give kudos, and he's a super nice guy. And then, these wines I would run out and buy. They're a pleasure, and it was a pleasure to taste them with you guys. That's it for this episode. Subscribe, please, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, friends.